Alright, so building, get it, cause it's in the title of the video. So building of the video I just made on zombie shows, movies and games, I'd say that one of the most important aspects in games, especially survival, horror and zombie games, is the atmosphere, the world building, the environment that us the player inhabits and survives in. So that's what I want to talk about today. So hello everyone, welcome to and welcome back to my channel. If you are new around here, be sure to subscribe and like and enjoy the video. So, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say zombie apocalypse? Maybe you think of the zombies first, how scary they'd be, or you think of abandoned cities, roads blocked by abandoned cars, vacant houses, and whole blocks of neighborhoods being upsettingly quiet. Maybe you think of nature reclaiming our man-made structures with plants growing out of skyscrapers, overgrowth running rampant, and wildlife taking over again. What I like thinking about is the kind of tiny intricate details that other people who are not absorbed in the world notice. Stuff like sound design, things in the background that make the world feel lived in and actually like it used to be alive. Maybe some people died in the house or killed themselves because they couldn't take it or because of grief and we see their bodies in their beds or whatnot. But here's the thing, every game is different and focuses on one aspect more like action, storytelling, horror, survival, and so on. So the world around has to match that tone and fit within the narrative of the game if it has a story. If there's lore in the game talking about things that happened before and how things were before, it would be satisfactory to players to go maybe to the site of where something happened and just actively recall that they read this in some in-game magazine or something like that, like they saw it on a poster or they saw a billboard for it, a torn billboard, or some old idols from the before world, before the apocalypse happened, just living in the game. You know, environmental storytelling which supports the mechanics and stories of the game. But I don't really know what I'm saying, I'm just rambling a bit. But something I took away when I was watching Wendigoon's recent Modern Warfare 4-hour video, I watched all of it in like a day, was how in those games, in the campaign missions, the developers kind of understood where the player would want to go and what type of things they'd want to experience in a scenario like that. Like in the game's missions I'm talking about, in how they set the set pieces, how they use the environment to really just put the player with where they want to be and what exactly they want to experience. Like in Modern Warfare 2 as the army rangers fighting through that one neighborhood, going from house to house, using, you know, local and more homely neighborhood things that aren't usually seen in warfare or invasion, like as cover. Like you're fighting at home, you're fighting the war at home, you're going through houses using them as cover, you're going through parks that are known, you're going through locations you used to visit as a child that now they've been turned into a battlefield, you know, something like that. So let me recontextualize that and put it in a zombie game manner, where instead of fighting a war, you'd be surviving in these common places that you know, which have been turned into more so decrepit old images of what they used to be and, you know, just kind of shut down. So yeah, I think that's just interesting and I think that it really should be more so of our main focus in more zombie games, going from, you know, house to house, going through diners, fast food places, and just seeing how the world has been affected by this apocalypse. And back to Modern Warfare, you're fighting Russians in your home turf, making it feel more meaningful and personal, because it's not like fighting in another country. Now you're actively defending and trying to push back these soldiers. Or again, as the army rangers, the fight in DC, it feels the same. In these Modern Warfare games, for some of the missions and locations and everything surrounding the world, it feels like it has an actual purpose to serve that's deeper than just running through the buildings, sightseeing and killing enemies. And I bring this up because in zombie games this feels like sort of a problem that's not really addressed in most of the games. And listen, I know this can be very nitpicky, but most of the times, whether it's in games like The Last of Us, The Walking Dead, or Left 4 Dead or Zomboid, it feels more detached from us, more like a kind of clean slate or something that reflects and addresses the inherent human fear of death and also the fear of infectious contagion. because most of the times in these games the world building kind of feels less personal and less intimate than other games and other genres, because I feel like zombies should be able to kind of present apocalyptic parables of societies in the face of the collapse. And I see this because zombies sort of act as the problem of globalized society, where they show the human fear towards the unknown and unnamed. And I feel like more games should be able to explore and properly show that in the gameplay, in the world building, in the settings, in the mechanics, and just really show how kind of scary it is to face things that we don't know and we can't control. Zombies confront us with the disaster and almost ultimate end of the world that we already know and have spent so long building up to the point we are at now. So in the case of world building, it becomes really important to be able to show the sort of mixture of the new dead world and the old one, now becoming sort of intertwined and transitioning into the kind of new collapsed state of the world. So, when this is done right, we can get a rich and varied world with interesting characters and locations, and not that just builds further upon that. It can be a world that is so interesting and deep that we will keep playing the game and keep coming back to it. But not only does world building give us characters to care about, but it helps engaging us with the mechanics in the game and how the zombies work, how enemies act and react, how NPCs interact with the player. We get a sort of curiosity that keeps us wanting to explore the whole desolate, apocalyptic world. We get goals and mysteries that keep us enthralled and just trying to uncover the mystery of this world, like where the zombies came from, if the game doesn't give an origin, how to stop them, if there's a cure, how we'll rebuild society, and things of that nature. And this is particularly important for zombie games, as that's where devs sort of can get away with leaving things unanswered and just letting the bits of world building they did keep you interested in the world enough to where you have theories about things in the game and you start filling in the gaps on your own, making up your own lore, your own story for your character, and just coming up and engaging more with the game by having your own personal thoughts on what it's trying to see and how the world actually is and how everything actually collapsed in that world. And in a sense, in some select games from this genre, it feels very engaging and rewarding. It's like you're experiencing the apocalypse in real time and not knowing all the lore or anything at all. And I find that really fascinating and more fun than anything. It's really just trying to survive in this world, trying to figure out what's happening. You can just, be on the baseline, the surface level things, and just do everything like how it's supposed to be done. Just survive the world. Don't really look too deep into it and just do the basic routine that you've gotten now. But I don't like that. I like going deeper into it, trying to find answers to these questions we get. And more often than not, when it's more ambiguous, it just leaves us more, with more questions and theories about it. And that's the most kind of engaging part. And we can decide what we think is lore accurate or what we think is canon in the game. So, in a way that's detailed and believable in the environment of the games that draws us into it. And this matters because of the immersion and emotional investment that we put into the games that we're playing. So I'd say that's something that is also really important in building a world full of zombies, is being able to sort of make an authentic reflection of humanity that fits within the logic of the game and the systems in it. But all in all though, every developer has a different vision for their games and what type of world they want to build around it. No zombie game is ever the same. They'll never work the same and share the same systems, and I think that's a good thing. It gives space to be able to experience different interpretations of the same sort of concept of the dead coming back to life, whether it's survival games, horror games, survival horror, action, and even tower defense games. So it's good to have such a variety of options in this genre. So with all that being said, thank you all for watching the video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.